Hello, everyone. We are doing basic 30 with a strength emphasis today. We'll still be getting in some stretching and some balance exercises here, but we're going to definitely do some strengthening exercises with the loop resistance bands, or if you have only the longer bands, you could tie them up in a knot so you have a little bit smaller band in a circle like this. And if you don't have anything at all, just follow along and do the exercise movements without the resistance and you'll still benefit. Okay, sound good? Let's get started. Grab one of those bands and we're going to get started right away. The band is going to go around your ankles. You can sit down if you need to get those the band around your feet, around your ankles rather. Take your time. And the other thing you can know about these exercises is if you need to be holding on to something for your balance, please don't hesitate to do that. No problem whatsoever. Once you have that resistance band on, we're going to make sure the feet are staying relatively parallel to each other. Usually the toes are going to aim out to the outsides. So look down at your feet, draw the feet in so they're basically parallel. Now try to keep the parallel nature of the feet. Put a little bend in the knees and the hips so we're sitting down just slightly, and then we'll go ahead and start our steps. You don't need a lot of space. Just the length of your mat will do just fine. And at first, it's a good idea, I think anyway, to look down at your feet and see if they're staying basically parallel to each other. Once you feel like you have that, then look straight out ahead of you so that your upper back isn't rounded. You can always glance back down at any time. And come back to the middle of your mat and take a brief rest. So I know you guys have done this exercise many, many times with me. We know where this works in the sides of the hips, the deeper support muscles that support hip function. So you definitely feel this there in those muscles. Now, those muscles tend to get weak, and so it's very easy to cheat the exercise. So as I mentioned, one way to cheat it is to aim the toes out. The other way to cheat it is to rock from side to side, kind of using your whole body to make the movement. So you're trying to isolate these muscles as best as you can. So if you need a lighter band, or no band at all even, that would be okay. So if you're ready, let's start again, second time. Beginning, trying to hold yourself relatively centered as you move from side to side. So the feet are staying parallel, but the leg is kicking out instead of kind of using a rocking motion to do the steps. We're going to get in another couple of times down and back with this one. Then we're going to take another quick rest, and then we'll do it one more time. Come back to the middle of your mat and take your rest. Good. So it doesn't take much to get those muscles really burning. This is such a good thing for us to do. This third time through, the focus is going to be on getting the feet up off the ground. So make sure you're not dragging your feet or sliding them across. We could even emphasize this so it almost looks kind of funny. So you're actually literally picking the feet up a little more than you might even need to. Okay, so third time, here we go. Emphasize picking those feet up off the ground as you step. Feet parallel. Not rocking side to side. Staying centered. Let's finish this up one more time all the way down. And back to the middle of your mat. All right, beautiful work, everybody. Definitely a good burn there. It does not take very much. Go ahead and come over to wall space or hold on to the top of a chair. And here, I want to make sure that we're holding on to something so we can really stretch out the band. If we're not holding on, it's hard to make the band work very much here. This is our toe taps. So we tap forward, out, and back. Forward, out, and back. If you find this particularly difficult, get rid of the band and just do the exercise without the band. Now, what's tricky about this is you're trying to keep the band taut at all times. So especially as you go from back to forward, you kind of have to swing the band to the outside a little, just so it stays taut the whole time. Now let's focus on what's happening in the support leg. It's the one that's doing most of the work. So really keep that leg as straight as you can and try to engage those muscles as best as you can. One more time around, forward, out, back, and rest. We'll switch sides. So go ahead and turn, face your other direction. Begin when you're ready. Support leg staying straight. Again, fine to look down to see what's going on down there. But once you've done that, try to look ahead. Keep your body straight up and down. And a couple more times around. Good, and rest. Keep that band where it's at. We'll take a brief rest here. Now, almost everyone I work with doing these exercises, and myself included, we have stronger sides. So if you notice that, that is very normal. If both sides felt completely equal, that would actually be unusual. Not that that's bad, it's just that most of us have a stronger side. So, and these exercises really reveal that. Now hold on to your wall again, but this time the band slips underneath your feet. So you should be able to do that without reaching down, hopefully. Or if you do need to, go ahead and reach down. But the band now is under the feet, not around the ankles. And we're going to lift one foot up off the ground. Now contract the muscles of the support leg and just do a little lift and lower. Now this will be a relatively small movement. And it should be a kind of a moderate pace. Now you can tell this is getting right where my fingers are here, right in this hip flexor. Very important muscle to stay strong. Don't let the foot come all the way to the ground because you want to keep the band taut. Now, if you need to stop early, you can. Or if you want to go a little further, you can. I'm going to do 10 more. 9, 8, 7. And rest. Now, you probably don't need to turn here. You can if you want to. Or just stay facing the same direction. Contract the support leg tight. Begin when you're ready. These types of exercises are great because I feel anyway, I suppose some people might have different opinions, but to me, these are the kinds of exercises that you don't necessarily really need warm up because you kind of are just going gradually. Now, lifting weights, of course, is a little bit different. And that's just maybe me. You may not agree with that, but for me, it feels like you can just kind of jump right into these, which is nice because you can just do these anytime you want. Take 5 minutes and do these exercises. I'm starting to feel that fatigue here. I'm going to go for 10 more. And rest. Good. Okay. The band now goes back around the ankle again. So see if you can just shuffle your feet around or reach down. And if the band gets a little mispositioned, you might have to reach down like I'm doing and go and get that set. Okay. Now we're going to hold on to the wall yet again. This time, the legs stay straight and we're going to be using different muscles. So one leg out in front. Keep the legs straight. It's a small movement. Make sure you're not arcing your back. So belly pulled in, low back stays flat. That isolates the muscles of the front of the leg. You should feel this all the way down the front of your leg, not just the top of the leg where the hip flexor muscle is. Definitely getting a good burn already. Good. Oh, and rest. All right. Other side, whenever you're ready. Contract the support leg and then begin. So we're trying to hold ourselves very steady. And the foot is flexed, the muscle is contracted of the leg that's moving as well. So you should feel there's no swinging action whatsoever, no activity in the knee, and that is isolating those muscles to the front of the leg. Real easy to bend the knee. I'm kind of catching myself doing it myself. Whew, just about there. Oh, all right, rest. Good. Okay, let's see. Yes, go ahead and remove the band and let's walk it off. Shake out the legs a little bit. You know you've done a good job. If walking feels a little funny, those muscles get a nice burnout. Let's go to our hamstring curl, one of my favorite exercises. We will not use the band here just because probably we don't need it, and it makes it really difficult to manage the band anyway. So you're going to face toward the wall this time, lean into the wall so you have a slight angle of your body, then lift your right foot off the ground and begin heel to bottom. Hamstring curls, reverse kick. Remember, the number one thing you're watching out for here is to not let the knee of the leg that's moving, don't let it drift forward. That's a completely different exercise, different muscles. So the key to isolating the hamstring is to keep the knee back so the knees are aligned and try to get as full of motion as you can, heel to bottom. And we might have to do more of these. It kind of depends on your particular body. Don't hesitate to add a few more at the end. I've got 10 left. That's going to be about right for me here. All right. Whenever you're ready, switch sides. Line up the knees and then begin. Check that knee, make sure it stays pulled back. It'll tend to drift forward as the muscles get tired. I'm going to do about 10 more. Good. And rest. All right. Good enough. Let's walk it off. Move it around, shake out the feet if you like. Those bands are so effective. We are going to do a couple of upper body band exercises, but before we do, we're going to get in our, yes, you'll love it, our squats and our lunges, our basic fundamental exercises. So go ahead and come into your squatting setup. So feet are hip width apart, slightly wider than hip width apart, feet parallel, or it is okay to aim the toes out a little. It just gives a little more room to the hip joints. Once you have that set up, we're going to bring the arms out in front and then sitting back down into the squat, take the arms behind. Let's hold here our first time. So tuck the chin slightly. Your gaze should be 3 or 4 feet out in front of you. And we're trying to sit down without rounding the spine. Then when you're ready, slow motion, push yourself up and reach the arms up overhead. Get a nice length here. And then go ahead, sitting down into the squat, go for some depth and push back up. So we're going to go slow with this. Down again when you're ready. Hold, sit low, and push back up. Keep going at that pace. I want a full breath at the bottom of the squat. Then we're pushing up. Now, I'm going to keep giving you little cues as we go here. So you keep going. We're making sure that we're doing a hip hinge. And what that means is that we're not rounding the spine at all. So the hip hinge means the hips move back, but the spine stays straight. A very simple movement. Now, another thing to check on is that keeping the head aligned with the shoulders and the spine is a little tricky here. Our tendency as we go down is to look up. So you have to tuck the chin just a little in order to keep the spine actually neutral. Now, let's do twice more. Good. And release. Lower the arms down. Take a brief rest. I want to give one other little alignment cue here. I see a lot of times with people coming down into this position, and they're not actually, and this could be because I'm not actually languaging this correctly, so this could be on me as much as anything, but I see a lot of the hips going back, the legs staying kind of straight, and the head actually dropping down almost lower than the hips. What we want is to have the hips moving back, but a little bit of knee bend. So you'll notice my chest is still upright to some degree, and my head is definitely above the hips. Okay, so let's go one more time. We're gonna go for about 10 of these, and just see if you can feel like, go ahead and do your first one. Sit the hips back, but the hips are not only back, but they're down a little bit. And your chest should be up so that you're actually able to look out ahead of your mat by a little bit. And then push back up. So let's play with that for our last 9. Otherwise, just go ahead and flow through it. We're still getting that one breath pause at the bottom. Think hips back, knees bent, but also pelvis down, lower than the chest. And I lost count. Let's do 4 more. And our last one. Good. All right. 2 good solid squat sets there. Long, deep breath. Okay, well, our time is really flying by here. Let's go ahead and get our lunges. We're just going to do 1 set. And please hold on to the wall if you need to for your safety. Your lunge is right foot stepping back. 1, 2, 3. If you can, the back heel is off the ground. Option is you can turn the heel down. It's just harder to have good range of motion with that. So heel up if you can. Both knees bend, down and up. Hold on to the wall if you need to. As far as the depth, you can go just a small movement. It could be, feel like it's 2 or 3 inches, that would be fine. Or you can go down a little lower. These are pretty taxing. Let's try for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now carefully step out of it and go to the other side. I personally think lunges are great, obviously for strength, but also good mobility work. So when you're ready, begin to bend and straighten. Little bends is fine. Just make sure it feels like those muscles are contracting. Of course, there is some balance with this as well. That's why you might want to hold on. And let's try for 5 more. Good. And step it up. All right. What a great leg workout that was. We are done with our legs. Grab your band again and let's do a couple of upper body exercises for our strength. Then we're going to finish up with a little balance and stretch. Get everything done today. So bring the band out with your right palm of your right hand facing forward away from you. The other hand, the palm faces towards you, and it looks a little bit like holding on to a bow to a bow like a bow and arrow. You're going to pull back just like a bow and arrow, and then you're going to come in. Pull back and come in. Okay, so your anchor arm, go ahead when you're ready, is holding still. So that's the right arm, the one that's in front. Do not bend the elbow. Do not bend don't move, I should say. Don't move the elbow and don't move the wrist. The legs are split stance position. Now keep the shoulders down away from the ears. And as always, the number of repetitions is certainly variable depending on what you need. I feel like I'm going to do 5 more. Good. Switch the other side, the other stance, the other foot behind. The left hand is out in front, anchoring. Left palm faces forward, right palm faces towards your body. Go ahead when you're ready. Now it's interesting to note with this exercise, and with all of these, the anchor side actually might get more fatigued than the one that's actually doing the pulling. And that shows how important stability is. So we're stabilizing the shoulder. And so these two sides, of course, as you would guess, are using completely different muscles. That's obviously, we're going to switch sides. But the support arm, it's really your stabilizer arm, muscles in the shoulder that's getting worked. Whereas the arm that's moving, it's the chest muscles, the front of the shoulder, even the bicep. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Good. Shake it out. Now, the band is going to go out in front with the palms facing toward each other. So I'll give you a little closer look there at what this band position is. It's kind of around the back of the hand, and then the elbows are going to bend and the arms come out in front. Now, we want to try to move the hands and the elbows the same amount. So don't let the elbows come out more than the hands. So you have to draw the shoulder blades down the back. And as you press the hands out, try to keep the elbows the same distance apart. Stay tall. Really hold those shoulders tight. Let's try to get 5 more. Good. Shake it out. Now we do the same movement, except we change the position of the band. It goes up, overhead. And if you need to bend the elbows in order to get here, this is perfectly fine. So here, if the elbows are out wider than the band, this is fine because we're over the head. So that would look like this. Now, if you're able to, lengthen the arms completely, pull the belly in tight. So elbows bent or arms straight, either way. We're just going to pulse out and in. And these are very small movements. I feel like I'm moving my band maybe 3/4 of an inch. And many of us are going to have the elbows bent a lot to protect the shoulders because of the overhead position. Keep it going. Try for 5 more. Good. And rest all the way down. Awesome. Toss that band aside. So that was only 3 shoulder types of exercises, but I could definitely feel that. And I bet you could too. So let's shake out those arms. And move your feet out a little wider than hip width apart. Isn't it interesting that even just that short little bit of time is all we need to maintain our strength? Such a good thing to do. Let's take that right arm and reach it up, and now reach it over. Get yourself a little stretch through your ribs. And then release and switch sides. Up and over. Now, turn the toes out this time and see if you can reach the right arm up and over maybe a little further and look up to the hand. And then switch. Up and over, look up to the hand, and switch. First side, reach, lengthen, and switch. And a couple more times. Find your reach, stretch through your ribs. And last one. And back to center. Either step, or if you can, heel toe the feet in and bring the feet close together. Either sides of the big toes touch, or if you need just a little bit of space between the feet to help with balance, you can do that. Single leg balance, holding on to the wall or a chair if that's needed. Right heel lifts, tight through the support leg as we come into single leg balance. Steady. Breathe. And release the foot down. Other side. Lift the heel, contract tight through the support leg, and lift. And back down. We're going to repeat that. A low lift is fine, even toes close to the ground, or if you want to do a higher lift, you certainly are welcome to do so. Right foot, lift, low lift, or a higher lift, pull the belly in. Option to raise the hands up. And back down. Other side. Low lift. Or a higher lift. Option to raise the hands up. And release. All the way back down. Again, very likely there's differences from side to side. I certainly have that as well. Okay, one more balance exercise for today. So this one, we will step the right foot back a step, or maybe a second step, bend the support leg. The arms reach behind, lean forward until the back toes become light on the ground, and then either keep the toes on the ground or see if that back foot can lift. Now straighten the legs, hold, and when you're ready, step the feet back together. Left foot back, one step, maybe a second step. Lean forward, feel the back foot light. Then see if you can get the foot to lift, and then both legs go straight, the arms reach behind. And when you're ready, step the feet back together. Obviously, don't worry about it if you're stepping in and out of it. Just do the best you can. We know where we're going. Let's go back to the first side. Right foot back. Lean forward. See if you can get the foot to come off the ground. Step the feet together. When you're ready, second side. And step the feet back together. Good. All right. Feet close together, or separate the feet slightly if you need to. Raise the hands up high. Look all the way up to the hands, full length. Reach the hands down to the knees or the shins. Or maybe you can keep going and lower the hands down to the ankles. You may feel the balance. Don't bring the hands all the way to the floor if you're extra bendy. In other words, if you can reach the floor, don't do it. And the reason is we're trying to test our balance. So hands around the shins or the ankles, and slowly come back up. If that was easy for you, cross the right foot over the left. If the feet parallel was plenty of challenge, do it that way. Again, go down. You're getting a stretch, and you're also getting balance. Work yourself back up, and either feet stay parallel or cross the left foot over to the other side, and down we go. And come back up, uncross. Again, last one, either keep the feet parallel or cross the right foot over the left. We're improving and challenging our balance because we're dropping the head down and we're lifting the head up. So those are movements that help stimulate the vestibular system and our visual system. So this time, take your gaze up any amount, maybe all the way toward the ceiling. Option to raise the hands overhead. And release. Uncross and either feet parallel, if that's your option you're sticking with, or cross the left foot over the right. Last one. Look up. Option to raise the arms up. Lower down. And uncross. Roll the shoulders. Move your head and neck around. Such an efficient, excellent workout today, everybody. I'm so glad you joined me, and we got a lot accomplished today in 30 minutes. I'll see you soon. Take care, everyone, and bye for now.